help a brother out right now. We are going to go live, and we're live right now. We're live on every channel that I have. We've had one destination, I think, that couldn't come on, but that's okay. So we've got a show to this morning that is called, well, it's my favorite. Well, I don't know if I could say it's my favorite, but it is called You Have to Meet My Friends, where I go live and I call my friends randomly, and they don't know they're on the podcast until they're on the podcast. Unless, that is, you're on Instagram, you have my phone number, you can actually call me, you can call in, and we can have a conversation. But I've got some people that I want to call this morning, which I'm super excited about getting on the show. And I came up with this concept because I wanted to spend time with people on the podcast, but a lot of times their scheduling is off. So what up, Brent? I could see you here, and go Titans. I just want to tell you, I am the biggest bandwagoner too in the world when it comes to baseball, because if I get a cool baseball hat, I'm loving that team. We just went to Boston and got back from New York City. We got to spend time with the Hoarders, which was always awesome. Went to New York City for my daughter, and then we went to Boston. And you know, I wanted to get back here. I haven't got a chance to be able to record in the studio for probably about a week and a half. And I got to record an episode in New York City, looking at Brooklyn across the water, which was unreal. And so when I got back here, I was so excited about going live and calling my friends randomly, which we're doing today. And if you haven't experienced this episode, this show on the podcast, I go live, I call my friends randomly. They have no idea that they're on the podcast, and then they end up on here. So sometimes I get skunked. Sometimes people don't answer the phone, but it's a great way of being able to connect with my friends. What up, Stevie? It's good to see you. If you do have my phone number, call me, because you'll be on the podcast live. I got some people in mind to be able to call. I'm going to be scrolling and doing that, but welcome to another show of You Have to Meet My Friends, where I go live and I call my friends randomly, and they won't know that they're on the podcast until they're on the podcast. Again, sometimes we'll get skunked, sometimes we won't, but why don't we get this party started?
Yeah, and this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turned small grooves into launch pad flights. Yeah, this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turned small rooms into launch pad flights. Grew up on base where the bike ties hum, Crestview dunk ball, rubber band wars young. Trees we climbed stood tall like the dreams we slung. Sun on our backs, whole world on our tongues. Then boom, light flip, tight walls, no space. 5 deep in one room, but we kept our pace. Me and Rob laughed loud just to soften the weight. Didn't know what we lacked, cause the love was great. Mama spoke life like a prophet on fire. Pop said greatest, made the standard high. Didn't see it then through the thin wall grind, but the words took root in the back of our mind. Yeah, it's the vibe that...
Welcome to another episode of You Have to Meet My Friends, where I go live and I call my friends randomly. I haven't got a chance to be able to talk to this young man in a long time, but we're going to give him a call and see if he'll actually answer. I think he's quite busy, and he's probably working right now, but we're going to give him a call and see if he'll answer, if he's still got the same phone number. I think he does. So... Uh-oh. This might not be the right number, but if it is, we're getting him. I've got another friend that I have to call right now, too. We won't get him. Stevie, I was trying to call you, and again, if you haven't joined the show, or if you're just joining the show right now, this is a show where literally I go live and these people have no idea that I'm going to call them. Hopefully we'll get this young lady, because she is an absolute inspiration, and I haven't got a chance to talk to her in a while. She's probably working too, but I think that she shouldn't be working. Let me see. Got it. Okay, let's see. If your phone is ringing right, if you have my phone number, you can call me, and you can call into the show right now.
You need me to call into the show right
Yeah.
now?
What is your, what's up, girl? What are you doing?
Girl, I am girl.
You are.
Sorry, Cal. I am just getting a coffee at Starbucks,
That's good.
and I'm going to the grocery store.
That's good.
I love
Well, I want to tell you,
uh
for all the listeners out there, this is one of the most iconic hairdressers in the whole entire world, and she isn't that to me. What she is to me is one of my best friends, one of my biggest mentors, and we've got a chance to be able to spend time together since I was 21 years old. As Stephanie Kachelski, and this is an honor to be able to have you on the show. And thank you so much for answering while you are shopping for groceries.
well, actually, I'm getting a coffee first because I can't even make it through the store without one. How are you this morning, Kelly?
I'm doing amazing. What kind of coffee are you getting?
Thank you. Oh, I am getting a Starbucks Grande Black Americano hot with room for clumsy because I'm driving.
That's too many words. It's way too many words, Steph.
But this is the best. There is a gentleman sitting in the back of like one of those smaller SUVs. He's here quite regularly, and he sits in the back with his hatchback open, and he twirls a baton that has like glitter on the edges or tinsel on the edges. I photographed him once and put him on my Instagram, but I was like laughing that dude shows up every morning and twirls his baton.
Hey,
Only in my vision
where
would
are
something
you
like
at?
that exist.
What
Right now
grocery
I'm in
store?
San Diego.
Which grocery store?
Well, I'm heading to Lazy Acres in Mission Hills.
Mission Hills. Okay. All right. Because I knew that you were in an eclectic neighborhood if somebody's twirling a baton right now.
Well, no, that's just like 2 minutes from the house, Kel.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
I'm surprised he wasn't out my garage door with the way the neighborhood's changing this week. It's crazy. Crazy.
Hey,
Where are you at?
I
And
am-
I'm on your show right now.
You're live on the show. So you're being streamed, I'll tell you. You're streamed right now on Instagram, on LinkedIn, YouTube, Substack. And we tried to go on Twitter, but Twitter wouldn't take us this morning. And also Facebook wouldn't take us this morning either.
Well, sorry, Facebook and Twitter for missing out on the wonderful Kelly Cardenas.
We didn't like them anyway, but you're everywhere right now. And you know what was cool is my daughter, Steph, fell in love with New York, by the way. Just wanted to let you know.
You know what? I couldn't tell by her big smile and the big disappointing smile on your dreaded face because, like, she's living the life that you showed her was possible, Kelly. You and beautiful Brooklyn have two amazing children that I love. I think they're a little scared of me because sometimes, an F-bomb pops out of my mouth. But they're just raised with the right, no disrespect to your name, but the vibe that raised you, you're raising them in that same love and light. And they're magical. And she's so talented. And she gonna be somebody. So, delighted. And yet there's a lot of other people going there, like in New York, and started that way too. And it's time for the next generation to lift us all up. So I'm excited about what's going on there. And I'm glad that I love Maddox's face when you wanted to advertise the Vibe Room. He was like, no, I'm not showing you my face, Dad.
Well, it was interesting. Yeah, Steph, it was interesting because we got off the train in the Bronx, right? And I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Like we get off there and
I know what you're talking about.
We were in the thick of it. And so I'm walking and Maddox is walking a little bit close to me. And, I mean, it's the Bronx. And we're on our way to go see Fordham University
Did you jump into Brooklyn's arms at that point? Because you were like, what's up?
Well, we were walking and my son is sticking close to me. But I tell you, McKenna wanted to walk ahead of us. She just pulled me aside. She was like, Dad, I've never been in a place where I was the minority. Like, I love all these different languages. I
Whoa.
love all these different cultures. I love being in I feel at home. And she's like, don't get me wrong. I love where you raised us. I love the opportunities that your mom gave me. But, and this, she told me afterwards at Central Park, she said, I want to prove to myself that I can go do it and that I'm not just a Nepo baby and that I'm not just doing it because you guys gave me the opportunity. I want to make it on my own.
You know what? I got chills on my arms and legs, and you know that girl's destined for greatness, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I love hearing you laugh about, you know, how you felt too. I mean, I have the flip flop. I grew up where you're talking about. Well, not in New York, but close, and now I'm a Nepo baby living in San Diego, so I feel that. I feel it, but again, you got enough sauce for all of us, Kel. So you've always filled that level in my heart, and I know your children's hearts too. So I love it. What's on the vibe this morning?
Well, I just got up this morning. I was so excited. There's a lady. Her name is Tiffany. Tiffany and Johnny. They're going to be opening a new Sport Clips location in a town.
Awesome.
In a town that means a lot to me. I don't think I'm allowed to say it exactly, but it's a town that means a lot to me. And they're on the Central Coast, and these two are just their eyes are wide open. They're so excited. And I think this is going to be their third. I think their third or fourth location that they're doing.
Well, you know what? God bless them. And I think the best thing about it is they're in a structure of a Sports Clips that they destined for success. I know that franchise pretty well. They set people up for success, and all you got to do is follow the systems, and you be in.
Yes.
And I know that town that you're speaking of, because on a blindfolded drive, you took me there and showed me every stone that you touched as a child. And, you know, it's a bit understanding, and there's a lot of great people from there that I've had the pleasure to meet, your friends, and they're not just friends, they're family. So that they have that opportunity. Did you have that help them sell it so that you could always have a speaking engagement with them as the town mayor? That was up.
Oh man. You know what else I noticed, Steph, is I went on a walk yesterday, right? And I just went to the beach and then just did my loop, and it went down by the camp store. I think you and I rode our bikes to the camps. I don't know if we rode our bikes to the camp store, but
no, I fell off your bike with the handlebars in my hand. Remember?
Oh yeah. But I did that,
Split my pants, and we laughed.
Oh, that was great. So I walked over there, and I ended up just having conversations with people, and I realized that environments change things. Like when you get in different environments, your conversations are different. You meet different people. Have you found that to be true in your life?
I definitely have found that to be true in my life. And I think that's what I think is really important about life, that you could switch, shift, move, and groove based upon who you are, where you're at, and what you're looking to gain or get. Just like your daughter walking in the Bronx. I mean, she's a blonde-haired, beautiful girl, and from Instagram, she needs long pants, not shorts. But, you know, like, totally different environment. I bet her clip was a little different than it is in the Carlsbad Center. I just feel that no matter where you are, you should be the most important person in the room, or carry that vibe. And I don't know why I'm stuck on your name, Vibe, right now. But if you can adjust, you and I are from the same hood, Kel. So if we can adjust, it allows us to open doors for the future. And I just know that to be true for myself. Sometimes you got to shut up to stand up and be appreciated. So I think that is a very true statement this morning at 8:14.
Yes. What do you got for the rest of the day? Are you working today?
No, I'm actually helping a friend. She's been a friend for a number of years. She's my acupuncturist. And she has a guest house on her property. And her son moved out, so it's all new. And there's a couple cool little places in San Diego. She needs to furnish it and get the kitchen right. And I'm a tall girl, so I can reach the high shelves. And I'm just helping a friend out get a new kind of breath of fresh air in her backyard in her home. And she's prepping it to, what do you call it? Uh, rent it. So I love moving in and moving out. I've moved so many times. I have like a little spidey sense about it. So I'm just helping her. And then later on, I'm taking Annie Sheila and Uncle Jimmy Gomez to see the Odyssey. So Jimmy had a little scare and he fell. So I'm sorry to like laugh about this, but when he fell, I had to call 911. It was the first time I ever had to call 911. So talk about switching your how you sound or whatever. I'm like sounded like a 5-year-old girl, and then all of a sudden the house is full with like 6 hot firemen, and like a fool, I turned my head and freshened my lipstick. Like that was going to help Jimmy get to the hospital faster. He was okay, but he fell and hit his head. And you don't mess around with a head injury. You take it right to the hospital. As you know, I have a little experience with that. But he's fine and rested. And he's like, well, I want to go see the Odyssey. And I'm like, all right. So I'm taking Uncle Jimmy and Annie Sheila to the movies tonight and going right now shopping for a friend's birthday party who is never late to do my blonde touch-up. So it is a surprise, so I won't say his name.
You know what? You know what's funny is our friend, that guy, actually responded to a text the other day for the first time in probably 6 years. And I was in New York, and I saw a statue of a particular artist. You know exactly the artist that I'm talking about. That's a big inspiration for our friend. And I sent that picture over. And I was standing in New York in Manhattan, and I took the picture and I said, I just want to let you know, this reminds me of, and you remember this, the gathering, the Paul Mitchell gathering, that artist inspired a haircut. And that was my first touch with you guys. And I was in the room just as an attendee, and it was that haircut. And I just let him know how much he means to me. And just, that he opened up a whole world. Like you guys seriously opened up a whole world for me, Steph. And, so on that part of it, there was a little girl that just started hair school the other day. Her name is Caitlin. And I posted on my Instagram because if I would have, when I was in school, had somebody that had a little bit more reach than me shout me out. We didn't have social media at the time, but if I had that would have helped a lot. Does that make sense? And
yep, I totally know.
Well, this little girl, what would you say to a young girl who's starting in the industry now about the social media that she's putting out?
Well, first off, Caitlin, I would decide what level, I'm not a sports enthusiast, so I can't do anything that makes sense in that. But what level of playing do you want to be at? Do you want to be a part-time person? Do you want to be a part-time lover? You want to be married? You want to reach fame? Like, what is important to you? And then I think the first thing I would do is find a bunch of people that are doing what you want to do and either hang out with them virtually or start posting what's inspiring you so that you can start to uplift others and make people part of your journey. If you're doing your mama's hair, pop a smile on her face with some lipstick and put her on social media and just show the love. If you can do your auntie's hair, make it look great, because people start to feel the love. And once you're loved, as you know, Kelly, you're in. And I think it's a great way. I wouldn't post the Friday night club picture unless you're spraying somebody's hair in the bathroom and making it look good. I would start to create the social buzz that you want to surround yourself with. When I started, there wasn't social media, and all I could say is thank God, because I don't think I would be where I was if that was the case. I think I would have got myself in trouble way too much. And yet, I just unplugged from my job of 40 years. And yet, when I think about the opportunity I had, I never dreamed I would have done. I never would have met you unless I had my ducks in a row. And I think you never know who you're going to meet that's going to open a door, walk you down somewhere. And that can happen all over the world socially. And reaching out and being genuine, I think, is another thing I would recommend to Kaylin. And thanking your teachers and posting love about them. And even if it's a doo-doo haircut, post it, because people will watch your trajectory and see the improvement. And whatever you love, if you love color, talk about it. If you love blow drying, talk about it. Teach from it. Set yourself up as to what you want to do and start doing it today. And guess what? You're going to get better at it every time.
Well, and what I would say too, and this is gold, absolute gold, and especially for if you've just tuned in, and I'm talking to Stephanie Kachelski, one of the most iconic, honestly, one of the most iconic hairdressers that has ever lived, one of the, if not the greatest educator that's ever been on this planet. And, when you say something like that, what I took from it, Steph, is that turn the camera on everyone else as opposed to yourself. And in the day of social media today, most of the time when someone tries to promote their business, what they want to do is they want to turn the thing on themselves. They want to turn the camera on themselves, take pictures of themselves, all these things. And it's like, as a hairdresser, as a in that industry, it's about the other person. And if you could do that, I was just thinking about it. I just, on my walk yesterday, I was talking to a guy named Steve, and he works at Toyota here in Carlsbad. Steve sells Toyota is what his Instagram is. And as I looked at his Instagram, it was amazing because he was showing people that bought their car but I was thinking for Steve, if he would simply go and talk about all the businesses that he patronizes. Like with you got coffee this morning. Where'd you get coffee? What was your barista's name? How can somebody get in touch with her? If you took and talked about all the people that you consume and promoted all those people, imagine how much business would come your way because you promoted everybody else's.
Well, I think that's what it's about. Like, somebody made me a coffee this morning. Thank God, because I couldn't even find the coffee in the house this morning. And yet I can still keep my day going because of them. So thank you, Charlie.
Yeah. Well, I think that, I mean, I think that when that happens, because you've taught me this all the time, like, everything that you have, every tchotchke that you have, which is a real word, it has a story behind it. And you tell me about those things. Even my scissors that I used for 30 years, those scissors were because I was at Long Beach Hair Show. I took a look at a pair of scissors that were at the time, I mean, this was early 2000s. These scissors were over $1,100, almost $1,300. I'm a young kid. You and I go look at them at the booth, the Hikari booth. I look at them and I'm like, wow, it's like looking at a Rolls Royce. And I look at them, I'm like, wow, that would be great, whatever it is. And then we're going to get coffee in the, you guys are going to get coffee because I didn't drink Starbucks. But you
can't help that problem.
Yeah, exactly. You turned to me and handed me the pair of $1,300 scissors. And I was like, well, I can pay you back. And you said, no, I got you. And you took care of me at that time. And I used those scissors to make millions of dollars because of you. Does that make sense? So everything has a story behind it. And if you tell the story about the other people, I find that you don't really have to promote your own business.
Well, Kelly, you don't know how hard you worked for those scissors and how many days. I mean, your nickname for me was always Junkyard. But the fact of the matter is, how better did you cut with those scissors? How better did you feel with those scissors? And at that point in your life, you didn't need the scissor, but you needed the like when you cut somebody's hair, you needed the scissor to sing for you. You needed it. You needed it. You needed that as just the same way when you went and bought your first suit that you're probably still wearing, because you got the story of it, just like the glasses and the charm. And it's part of your world. And it's the same with me. When you get something that has a value and take the money off of it, it's the story of why. It's because I love you, you little shit. You worked your butt off. And no matter how crazy it was, you always fell into who we needed you to be and what you needed to do, no matter how hard it was or how in the quickness of a moment somebody might have snapped or crapped in you, but you always snapped in. And I think that's another thing for our friend that just started beauty school. Don't be afraid to show up. Don't be afraid to speak up. And please never, never forget to lift others up, because that's how movements are born. Like, you didn't just fall into the show. I remember being on stage when your parents were sitting in the front row, and I lived vicariously through your mother and your father, watching you without your dreadlocks, where you were Charlie Brown and had like 3 hairs on the top of your head. I watched your parents love you so hard that this iron chain, my eye was crying, and it wasn't because I had hairspray in it. It's because I felt the love. So, there's so many gifts that we get from other people, but if you're not there to help lift them up in a time of trouble, you gotta do that for people, because that's always been done for me. There's always been someone that said, hey, come here, or let's try and do this. And it most of the time where they're like, hey, come here, let's try and do this, is because they didn't want to do it. But because I did, I got the job, and I just, looking back through the decades that I had the privilege to do the specific jobs that I've done, I should have never have been in the room, but for some reason, you can be placed anywhere when you help others. And I don't know, I've just been extremely grateful for all the love, not only others, but especially you, Cal. I know I can always call you and say, okay, I got this, and I only got 5 minutes, and I want to talk about this. And you're like, what did so-and-so teach us? And I'm like, oh, I hate when you do. But then you're like, people remember 3 things, and what about it? Or you'll tell me something, and they created, and I'm like, the world, the earth, no, what they created, and I'm like, Kelly, just tell me, because I don't know the answer right now, so hanging out with the right people that you lift, for every time I picked you up, homie, you've been picking me up for quite a few years, and I just appreciate it. So I think that's the morning ritual. And, there's always something else. And as I unplugged from one job and moving on to another, what I've noticed, I've taught people all over the world how to color, cut, and style hair. But really, I was just teaching them how to get a better life. And as I evolve in this next chapter, that's what I'm doing. I'm still going to continue to teach them to have a better life with what I used in my world to help refocus me, to help keep me going. And, it's simple. You gotta have faith in someone. And if you don't have faith in yourself, then that's the first thing we should work on.
Yeah. Well, I'm asking you now, and I'm going to ask you in front of a lot of people, so you have to come. September 23rd, your butt better be in town.
Well, it might be.
You might be, or you are?
It might be. There is a surprise birthday party for a childhood friend of mine.
Okay.
And I don't know if I can do it, because I have another pink-haired individual whose birthday is that weekend, and it's a big family party, and it's a big B-day. It's 50 Cent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Is it East
I
Coast?
know
Is
I
that East
gotta
Coast, or
be.
are you guys going away for it?
One's East Coast and one's West Coast. So
Okay.
I I know I gotta be at the Fitty. So I'm just trying to juggle that. But
Well,
if I
get
am,
this, get this.
which
The
is the
23rd is a Wednesday too, so it's not during the weekend.
okay.
So it's a Wednesday, and that's the Vibe Room in here in Carlsbad, and it would be an honor. It would be an absolute honor to have you
You
here.
know what? It would be my pleasure to be there because the last time, and I love the way you always ask, like it's like you're going for knee surgery. Sometimes you call me Steph, sometimes you're like, Mama, I need you to be with me August 2nd and 3rd. And I'm like, good Lord, I can only be the third half the day because I was flying August 3rd. And you're like, you got to be here. And we're going to my friend Greg's house. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't know your friend Greg, but I know a couple of your friends real good. And I was just like, I showed up, and first off, the introduction you gave me, everybody thought I created the sun. So thank you. But the people that are at your events, Kelly, they're self-made magic. And the wonderful thing is some people that have made it never like pull up a bar stool or a chair and sit and talk with you. I sat on a staircase for 2 days. I'm 6 foot tall, cramped on a stair that covered a quarter of my butt cheek, sitting there and I'm a big presence. But I remember that day I was like, oh, just calm down, a little bit of makeup. Don't go crazy. No red lips. You're not doing a hair show. But no, I had to wear a bright orange dress because that's that's kind of a quiet outfit. And I remember meeting this beautiful lady that I sat next to who introduced people by telling me how they shaped her journey.
Mm.
And everybody I met that afternoon had they would pull up next to you and tell you why they were here, what they did. And the little nuggets that I took away from the people that did the hot seat or that were your podcasters, it was like you didn't have to sit and listen. That was right in front of you. And it was interesting because you always can interview people really, really well. You're a great question answer person. And the people that you interviewed, what I learned from them, I can still repeat, and I ad-lib the stories quite a lot, when it's nice to fill in to show people there is hope. I don't know. I love that day, and I would love to be there. So
Yeah.
September 23rd, Carlsbad. I think I know the address. I think I
It's a
know the
Wednesday.
place really
Yeah.
well that it's going to be held at. And I know there's 2 parking lots now. And I just think that if anybody's looking to gain, I would say I gained a lot of self-worth that day because I personally, Motormouth Mabel over here, was forced to be like shorter and funnier with my content. I was more of a listener than a person speaking from the stage that day. And it was humbling because I got to listen to people. Now, some of the people that were there were writing books about people that speak to them and different things. And I didn't judge anything because no one judged me. They just accepted me with love. So if you're looking to meet a lot of great people, maybe tell your story. Maybe if you got an idea you're trying to pitch, I don't know what the Vibe Room is, but I would say the people that'll be there would be people that you'd want to hang out with. So if I'm on this coast, I'm in.
You're awesome. You're awesome. We'll get to shopping. It's always great to be able to talk with you.
I got to.
I love you.
To because, hey, you know what? I really love you. And it's so funny because you always call me I'm surprised it wasn't at 5:30 like normally. Hey, what are you doing? I'm like snoring. And I got a wet pillowcase because I've been drooling, dreaming of Matthew McConaughey. That's what I'm doing, Kelly. So listen, I love you. Thank you for making my morning, and for all the people listening, not on TikTok or Face Crack. Just thank you for being a part of your journey.
Thank you.
And thank you for allowing me to have a little airtime with you all. And Kel, never stop doing this because you bring out the best in everybody you get the pleasure to talk to. So, from the Toyota man and the other person that you met at Carlsbad, keep going.
Thank you.
You got a lot of love to share, and I'm glad that you share it with me. So, thank you. Thank you. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Peace out.
You're the best. You're the best, Steph. I love you a bunch. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, baby.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
That's the coolest thing about You Have to Meet My Friends, is because I have the coolest friends in the world. That was the former artistic director of Paul Mitchell, one of the most iconic hairdressers to ever live. But she just happens to be my friend named Stephanie Kachelski. And so if you haven't got a chance to be able to follow her, it's at Kachelski, or at Kachelski on Instagram. And she's going to, we're actually been working with her. I've been working with her and coaching her on some things on how to be able to bring her genius to the world and be able to spend time with people. And I had the opportunity to be able to spend so much time with her. So just an unbelievable human being. I am going to, let me see if I can get this young lady, because I need to see if she will answer. Hopefully she will. But I'm so proud of this young lady. I got a chance to be able to meet her. And she's doing some amazing things. Hopefully she'll answer my call. I don't know if she will. But this is the cool thing about the show, is because literally we just go live and I call my friends. Sometimes they answer. Sometimes I get skunked. She's probably working right now. That's the reason why she's not answering. But sometimes they don't answer like this. So let's go to, actually, I want to see if I can get this young man real quick. Let's see if this guy is not traveling. Oh, there we go. If you do have my phone number, call in. Give me a ring. I'm not going to put my phone number out there in the stratosphere, but you can call in live. I love getting skunked. All right, here we go. Let's do this. My best friend in the world. I know he'll answer. He already knows.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, dude. Hey, I honestly, man, you got to call me back because I'm in the middle of something.
Okay. All right. I'll call you back. Love you,
All
buddy.
right.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
That's the best, is when I catch people, and that's my best friend Will. So I am going to call him back at some point. But let me see if I can get this young man a fan favorite. This now is I call him, he's like the mayor of, it's like the mayor of Salt Lake. But I think James is going to be doing he's going to be doing an event for his hometown in Indiana, and Mike Singletary is going to be there. Jackie Joyner Kersey is going to be there. He's going back to be able to help his community in Anderson, Indiana, and so it's an incredible thing. I want to see here, because I didn't get a text back. But let me see if I can get this guy. Let's see if you very seldom get a chance to be able to hear from my this buddy, but this is probably one of the funniest dudes that I know, and he's going to be angry with me. He might not answer though. That's the thing.
Your call has been forwarded to.
Oh, it's been forwarded to voicemail. Let me see here, Steve. No. This is I think the funny part of this particular show is because there are times where I get skunked, and I end up not being able to have. I wish that I could say the text message that I just got on here. Let me see here. I'm going to run through and see. You know what? I'm going to see if I can get this young man. I think he's on vacation, so I don't think that he's going to answer the phone. But if he does, we might get a chance to sneak attack him because I've wanted to have him on the podcast for a long period of time. Nobody's answering the phone this morning. I think they all know that I am, you know who we should call. Let's see if this man will answer real quick, and we'll get some insight. I've never had this many people not answer. Actually, I think that I have.
Man, I'm just out here fighting this belly, bro.
You are? Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How's it going?
I'm doing amazing. Are you golfing right now?
No. I just went to the gym. Now I'm just heading back home.
That's good, man.
Up the hill. So if I'm panting, I'm not, I know you get used to people panting on the phone to you, but it's not an infection. It's just I'm exhausted. So just want to get that clear. I don't want to send the wrong signals here, Kelly.
You started it off strong. You know that you're live on the podcast right now, right? There we go.
Perfect. I love it. Great to hear.
Matt Williams, the social selling guy. But hey, I love that because literally, like in life, most of the time people don't live what they do, like who they are, right? So they have one persona and then they change and switch it up. This is a thing that you've been able to create a monstrous following on LinkedIn. And you do it because you keep it like absolutely real. How did you figure that out, Matt?
Hey, am I actually on the podcast right now?
You're live on the podcast. Dude, you're seriously live on the podcast right now. Let me tell you what you're on right now. Hold on. So you are on LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn. You're on Instagram. You're on Substack, and you're on YouTube. Welcome, Matt Williams, the social selling dude.
I love you. You kill me. This is the best.
I told you, Matt, that I have a show called You Have to Meet My Friends where I go live and I call my friends randomly and they don't know they're on the show until they're on the show, and you're on the show right now.
Oh my God, man. I love you. You're the best. How are you, first of all? Do we go into pleasantries right now or do we go straight? I don't know how this works.
You just have a conversation, man. This is the cool thing because most people prepare for a podcast and then you get some, you get some presentation that you could watch anyone's podcast. You get the exact same thing. But when I do this, we actually get to have a conversation and the people get to know Matt Williams. And honestly, like if you're on right now, Skills the Barber is on Instagram right now. You need to listen to what Matt is about to talk about because this will blow up your business. No matter who you are, no matter what business you have, if you simply listen, if you seek out Matt, then you listen to him, then you apply the wisdom that he talks about, literally things will take off in a way that you couldn't imagine. I've never seen it happen the way that you've been able to do it, but where did you like come up with that? How did you figure it out? And honestly, like it blows my mind, Matt.
Well, Kelly, I appreciate that. It's very, very kind words, but it all came out of necessity. Look, and I've been a journeyman sales guy, pitch man, frontline ditch digger, whatever you want to call it, for my entire life. And man, like, I don't know, it's like 4 years ago, everything kind of like came to a perfect storm of no one was listening to anyone that was in sales, right? Sellers were trying to reach buyers. Buyers were turning off all signals because they were being inundated with sequenced emails and robo spams and text calls and everything, right? And it just became a lot of noise. And that's when I really started leaning into LinkedIn and creating a personal brand and started telling my story and started actually looking at what buyers were leaning into, which was telling stories in their vocabulary, speaking to them, creating memorable moments that were more of being a genuine supporter than being like the transactional supplier. And that's really when it all took off. And, it's a combination of LinkedIn content and creation and building active communities and really proving that you are a person on the other end of the profile, to creating little memorable moments that are offline, that are gifted situations, and inviting people to just connect. I mean, Kelly, you're a master at this, just connecting people with no transactions involved. Right? I mean, this past week, I connected 5 people within my LinkedIn network with opportunities to help my clients and other people's clients because they had a service that was valuable and it was missing for them. So, I love LinkedIn. I'm a nerd about LinkedIn, and I just feel like it's the biggest B2B social platform on the planet, and people aren't leveraging it correctly. They're leaning on automation. They're purely transactional when they aren't giving, and all they want to do is get. And so the more you give, the more you receive on this platform. And that's truly been kind of my marching orders for what I've been building and for what I've been telling other people to build.
Well, when you're doing it, this is a thing that I think a lot of people want to push back on, Matt, is like, well, why would I promote someone else's business when I have a business? Wouldn't that take away from my own family's mouth and take food out of my family's mouth?
Sure. The businesses that you bring into your family, right, to your circle, to your little quiver of opportunities are typically complementary, right? And those are things that you can attach on to your current clients are going to help really boost what you're doing. And, will you maybe take away a little bit of food off the table for yourself? Sure. But at the long run, if your client's happy and you retain them and they can think about you in a positive way because you delivered a service that was above and beyond what they signed up for, like that's when your business starts to really grow because you're not selfish. You're acting selfless and you're putting your client first. And that's when referrals start coming in. That's when this whole flywheel starts happening of this is a good dude. This is a guy that's going to put you above his and it's going to help you succeed.
So I want you to talk to you about a case study. I was just talking with, actually it was cool because I got skunked by about 5 people on the show. Like I called them and they didn't answer, which is fine. I'm live and this is what happens on You Have to Meet My Friends. Sometimes I get skunked, sometimes people answer. One of my friends that answered, she was the former artistic director of Paul Mitchell, one of the most famous hairdressers to ever live. One of the baddest educators. I mean, this woman is an absolute beast. What she was talking about was socially for a young kid or anyone in business, it was turning the camera on everybody else as opposed to putting it on yourself and promoting all the people's businesses that you're a part of, that maybe you patronize or whatever it is. So I was talking with a guy named Steve. He's Steve Sells Toyota on Instagram, if you guys are listening and watching. Great man, phenomenal heart, great father. He spends time, him and his son, they love cars. And I looked at his Instagram this morning and I loved it because he was showing pictures of people buying Toyotas, things like that. But then I had the idea. I was like, What if Steve just wrote down the top 10 businesses that either his clients that bought cars own or work at, or the top 10 that he patronizes? And then he filled his Instagram or filled his social network with that. Do you think that would be a good way of moving forward and moving the needle?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's one of the things we talk about on LinkedIn is basically highlighting partners and hopeful future clients in a positive way, right? And so if you're in sales, go out and experience the people you want to work with, right? Whether it's a consumer packaged goods company, you want to go buy their product in store, whether it's a software company, you want to take a demo, whether it's a car company, you want to take a test drive. Like, show that you're involved with their brand, you understand them, you know what they're doing, and then review the process and start a conversation, tag them in a post. And that's where a lot of genuine sales conversations happen. I mean, I just did a post, I don't know, 5 weeks ago about Patagonia. And it was about their like really, really open return policy. I had a rain jacket. I was heading up to a training session in San Francisco and it was raining. Pulled up my rain jacket and there was a hole in it. So I took it to Patagonia. I'm like, hey guys, I know this has been like 15 years since I purchased it, but what's the return policy? And they say, go find something on the rack, pull it off, and that's it. And I posted about it. It was a really simple, just more of throwing some flowers at Patagonia for their great customer service and standing by their product. And it went bananas. I mean, probably, I think 200,000 impressions, tons of engagement, and it threw a lot of really positive light on Patagonia. And I used that as an example in my training session with one of the MBA teams I was training. It was like, listen, if you want to get involved and be seen by your clients, start talking about them. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Kelly. Is just start highlighting the people that you want to work with and the people that you do work with. And it goes a long way.
Well, I don't know if this is my get off my lawn moment, but there was a time where we didn't have social media, right? And I remember when we started our company years and years ago, we did a thing called Local Business Focus. So with the Local Business Focus, every person every Tuesday was responsible to find a local business focus inside of our company and then shout it to our whole company and then patronize or like talk about it to all their clients that were sitting in their chair that week. And
I love it.
What started to happen, we were only doing it manually, right? We didn't have social media to be able to do it. But what started to happen was, say Joe's hot dog stand started to get an influx of a bunch of business. And then he would, either call us or stop by and be like, what's the deal? Like, what are you trying to get? And we were like, there's nothing. There's nothing at all. We just want everyone to know that Joe's hot dogs is amazing. But so many people, Matt, are afraid. Like, I'm so excited, like, that you're my friend because I don't have to be good at LinkedIn because you are, right? And if the way that I think about it is if you're good at LinkedIn and you're my friend, then both of us are good at LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Yes.
So,
yeah. Listen, I mean, this whole thing takes a village, and I even talk about that. I mean, LinkedIn's a perfect example. I hate to go back to it, but it's community built, right? And it's one of those things like the more you give on this platform, the more you're going to get, which means connecting with people you want to basically have in your social circle, supporting them through comments, right? Mm-hmm. Creating posts that basically showcase their products and their services. I mean, all these things are goodwill, good nature, and giving, and that's how you grow. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, there's no simple, like, easy little pill you take and it's basically you press the button and goes. Like building on anything is hard. You know that, Kelly. It's like building a podcast, building a social following, building your career. Like, it's all hard work. It's just a matter of where do you want to place the effort of the hard work? Do you want to place it on automation? Do you want to place it on things that don't really have soul? Or do you want to place it on something that's going to build your personal brand and allow you to be the person that people think of when they need you?
Hey, hold on for 1 second, Matt. Hold on. Stay with me. Tiffany.
Good morning,
How are you
Kelly.
doing? Hey, hold on for a second. You got Johnny with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, hold on for a second. Hold on. Matt, are you there?
I like it. They launched
I'm
the
here,
rocket. Are
Okay.
you there? Are you in Lompoc?
Are you both on? Tiffany is here and Johnny is here, and you're on the phone with Matt. So hey, say hello to them.
What's
Hi,
up, Tiffany and
Matt. How are
Johnny?
you doing?
Hi, Matt.
So
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. We're walking the dogs. Can you hear them?
Oh, yeah, I can hear them howling.
this
They
is
just launched a rocket at Vandenberg Air Force Base, and they're barking at it.
so
Love it.
This is the cool thing, right? So Tiffany and Johnny want to let you know that you're live on the podcast right now.
Oh, nice.
So
Hi, everybody.
it's a show called You Have to Meet My Friends, and where I go live and I call my friends randomly. The cool thing is for Johnny and Tiffany. So Johnny and Tiffany have a business. They own Sport Clips in the Central Coast. And am I allowed to say the new location that was just secured?
Hasn't been secured yet, but we're opening up a couple of more.
Can I say
on the Central Coast here?
Am I allowed to say?
I would say not yet.
Okay.
But, you know.
Okay, but they okay. So
say the ones that we have.
what ones do you have? You have Pismo Beach, right?
Yes, Pismo Beach and the shopping center,
And
in San Luis Obispo, across from the Madonna Inn.
Perfect. And so we got two.
Yeah.
We got two right now. We're going to expand to 4. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the cool thing is, Matt, is Tiffany and Johnny. I just met them. So Johnny's in construction, one of the top in the Central Coast, got a construction company, but also they stepped into the one of the baddest franchises on the planet, which is Sport Clips. And I just got a chance to meet them. They're going to be opening 2 more locations, which is amazing. Now, Johnny and Tiffany, what I want to let you know is that you're on the call right now, live on the podcast, and you are with one of the most influential people on LinkedIn, and that teaches people how to be able to have a presence on LinkedIn in Matt Williams. So I wanted to connect the two of you guys, because when we talk about growing a business, that's what Matt and I were just talking about, and how to be able to grow a presence online through true connectivity, which I think is great. So Matt, Tiffany, Johnny, Tiffany, and Matt.
Nice to meet you, Matt.
Nice to meet you. It's our pleasure.
Oh, that's awesome to meet you guys, and I'm excited for this venture you guys are on. And you guys sound like you're cut from the same cloth as me. You have a full-time business, and then you have a side business, which I think is what it takes to really prosper in today's society, for sure. So I'm excited for you guys, and I love the franchise model. I love the local type of approach you guys are taking with Sports Clips. I've actually been there before with my kid, and I love the sports / styling environment that you guys create. And I think it's a great way to get involved with the local community and actually connect people. I mean, it's such a huge opportunity, and kind of bring back the old barbershop vibe that was always, I mean, I grew up in the South, so it was always like a barbershop was central for all communication in the town. So stoked to hear how you guys are growing the business.
Tiffany and Johnny, what are
you
you guys the most excited about in the expansion?
For me, I would say I'm excited about the marketing. I mean, we took over 2 stores that were already established. We've marketed some, and we're doing our best to get more people in the shops cutting hair. The thing about the Central Coast, and this is something that I had dealt with back in 2017 when I first got licensed, was, we have shops up and down the coast, but not enough to welcome in a lot of the stylists. Sometimes we get stylists that are there for a very long time, and we have new stylists out there and they can't seem to find a position. And the more stores that we open, the more opportunities that we're giving to these brand new stylists, or even the stylists that are moving into the area, and we're giving them an opportunity to build their clientele and build a career and a future. The more stores we open, the more opportunities, not only for the stylists, but for the communities too. They don't have to travel as far. And marketing within these communities, we have so many ideas where we want to give back to the communities, like senior homes, like schools, like baseball teams. We want to be able to get that marketing out there, invite them into this store, and keep our stylists successful.
Yes, I would say myself, having a construction business for over 20 years, it's a different dynamic working with stylists and working with construction workers. And it's a night and day difference, and I really welcome it. I love it, actually. And having pep rallies with our stylist teams, with the managers, all of that is really exciting for me. It's a new adventure, and I like keeping my construction business still active and going. And then also, with the sport clips, we're open 7 days. So that's, that's another full-time project for us. And it's just fun. You got to like what you're doing. And, we both love it.
Mhm.
So Matt,
one of the
go ahead.
things that, sorry, Kelly.
No,
one of
go.
the things that comes to my mind, guys, is, and I tell this to all the companies I work with, is like, start letting your people tell the story, not the brand tell the story. Right. And when I think about stylists, right, I think about creativity. I think about, what you said about them getting started, allowing them to tell their story on social, to tie in sport clips, to basically allow them to be creative and to be the person that people are going to come see. While in the long run, maybe you lose a stylist because they come too big and they create a persona that basically allows them to graduate from your services. But at the moment, you got to kind of catch lightning and get people to actually come to your store for that specific stylist versus sports clips. And I know that's kind of opposite of probably what you guys are trying to build, but I've found over and over again, with whether it's an NBA team or whether it's a staffing agency or whether it's an advertising company, that when you let your people talk and you let them basically have the microphone, good things happen. And it's a short-term gain and a long-term gain as well. And it's one of those things you'll be happy to see the return on that when you give them something to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Well,
I agree.
Tiffany and Johnny, what I want to tell you too is, where Matt, Matt, just your last post on Patagonia. Tell them the stats on this on LinkedIn, and I want you guys both need to go to LinkedIn and check out Matt's stuff. But tell some stats, because I want them to understand the gravity of the type of counsel that you're giving right now. So, what was the Patagonia post? Give me the stats.
Yeah, guys, I had a nice customer service interaction with Patagonia, and it was a return. And it was nothing more than, it took me 5 minutes to create the post, and it was really just about how easy the return policy was, how I got a new jacket, how I paid a premium for that jacket when I first bought it. But this is the benefit, that you always get a lifetime return. And I posted it kind of on a Saturday morning and put it out there. And I think it's got close to about 200,000 impressions and like just tons of engagement with people coming out that I've never even connected with to talk about Patagonia and their experience with the brand and their appreciation for the lifetime commitment and the customer support that they get from Patagonia. And it basically propels yourself into another conversation with Patagonia. I started seeing people start following me from Patagonia. I started having conversations with people internally at Patagonia that were nothing about work. It was just more like, hey, I appreciate what you guys are building, right? But that type of synergy, that type of relationship just goes a long way into the next time I actually want to reach out and say, hey, I'd like to talk to you guys about what I do, right? Now the conversation is open because I've earned my trust in my conversation at the table, and I'm not transactional. I'm actually more of a supporter.
Yes.
Well, and what I would say too, and this is all things that you're not asking for, but you guys have my heart. You know that, Tiffany and Johnny. I don't know if you realize, and can you explain how we met to Matt? Because you're going to be my friend for the rest of my life, and for the rest of your life, Johnny and Tiffany. But honestly,
Awesome.
like when we met in up in Northern California earlier this month, you guys had my heart. And so, do you want to talk about how we met and why we're going to be friends?
Yes. So, it was on. I would like to say fate, just because we're here in Southern California, and usually our team meetings or our team leader huddles, they're down in Valencia. We decided we had things to do as far as the schedule, and we had decided to go and travel about an hour extra up north to go to NorCal. And when we went in, we met you, Callie, and we also had we met up with Edward too.
Yep, co-founder.
Co-founder of the company.
So yeah, but let's make sure that people understand. Like, you were with the epicenter of, and Matt,
Yes.
I want to tell you. Okay, Matt, get this: the franchise that Johnny and Tiffany are a part of. There's 1,800 locations, over 18,000 employees, and they do over $1 billion a year. So just to put it in perspective. So keep going.
We walk into the room, and our area coach V, she said, "Hey, Callie Cardenas is here. Go say hi." I said, "Okay." We went to introduce ourselves. He asked us where our location was, and Central Coast. He said, "Hey, I'm from Lompoc," and we were like, "Hey, we're looking into the market down there because we have the neighboring market." And then it was just like the conversation just blossomed to where it was, we're familiar with the same area, the same places, and we know the community, and it just formed into an automatic friendship that and then after that, Kelly's like, "Hey, let's connect. How can I contribute to your goal? How can it help the both of us out?" And it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, I just think that our partnership is going to really blossom from here. Yeah. And the fact is also too, during this meeting, he had a very inspirational moment with us, with the whole entire room, and I really saw how Kelly brings the vibes. He brings the positivity. He has a way with the words that is super inspirational.
Oh yeah, raise your hand if you could hear me.
Yes, right there.
I like it. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you could hear me. Oh, it shuts up the room right away.
Oh man.
And it was very inspirational, Callie, and it's like I took something away that day. What we were talking about and how you were explaining sport tips to me. I've heard it 1,000 times, but just the way that you said it, it really inspired me. Where I'm like, oh my goodness, we really have something huge on our hands. I mean, I knew that already, but you just amplified that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. No, pretty awesome.
Well, you guys have. Matt, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you guys knew you were in the presence of greatness. He is the Lompoc High Hall of Fame inductee.
Right.
That's
Cabrillo. Hey, probably through that.
It's Cabrillo High. I want to tell you, that's our rival that you just said. That's what you said, Lompoc.
Oh yes.
I'm Cabrillo Hall of Fame, baby. Cabrillo represent.
Sorry, me to clarify.
and Callie, you can mention that our next store is going to be in Lompoc. That's what we were talking about. It's going to be in Lompoc.
Well, go ahead. You looked what?
We looked at a few locations, and we have our eyes set on one. It's available, and hopefully within the next month or two, it's going to be finalized, secured, and then we can start building.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, the cool thing, Matt, the wild thing here is, Matt, is that Johnny is one of the top in construction in the Central Coast. His company is. And so his company is going to build his other company. This is absolute genius. And Johnny, I want you to understand, the only time that I've ever seen this happen before, and I'm sure it's happened in the past, things like that, but there's a guy named Bill Richardson. Do you know that name?
No.
I didn't either. So there was a guy named Bill Richardson, but I just knew him as Bill. And he came in and sat down in my chair, and this was in 1999. Well, I just knew him as Bill because he was on the appointment schedule. He sat down. We began to talk. He was nondescript, working boots. He would answer his own phone. He didn't have an assistant. But come to find out, he was the principal owner of the Mandalay Bay, of which we had a salon in the Mandalay Bay. And he was the principal owner. And then, so I did him and his wife's hair and his kids' hair for years and years and years. And when I went to start my company, there was an abyss time. I lost my job at the Mandalay Bay, but then I was like working at a in-between shop before I did my own. And I remember I was sitting with Mr. Richardson, Bill, now that I know, and now, at this time, I know that he owns the Mandalay Bay. But I asked him the dumbest question anyone could ever ask. I said, Mr. Richardson, do you happen to know any contractors? And he just smiled, and then he said yes, and he said I might, and then he left, got his stuff taken care of, and he left. When he left, I got a call about 45 minutes later, and it was a frantic guy named Eric Schweitzer. And Eric Schweitzer was so frantic, said, I'm in LA. I'm just about to get on a plane. As soon as I land, I'll call you back. You're all taken care of. Don't worry about anything. I had no idea what the concept was. Come to find out, Bill Richardson owned the largest construction company in Las Vegas that actually built the Mandalay Bay, of which he owned.
Wow.
Ooh.
And Bill Richardson, because I had a relationship with him, built my first 1,200 square foot place with the same construction company that built the Mandalay Bay and Resort World now.
Wow, that's incredible.
So I just want
That's
you to, I
awesome.
want you to understand like the trajectory and the things that you guys have, and that the not only with Tiffany, with your side in the professional beauty industry, but then Johnny with your background in the construction, and that the thing is going to be at the top level, but also with the brand. And then you're on the phone with the social selling dude from LinkedIn. This guy can absolutely, I mean, he can help you to be able to blow your business through the stratosphere.
Wow. No, it sounds great.
Well, and guy, I'd love to carry this conversation off the call too. I mean, there's so many different things within LinkedIn that you can start targeting socially to get businesses to do, like, I don't know. My mind goes to on-site visits from sports clips to do hair and locations, and to drive like events into your store. I mean, that's where a lot of these things are happening. It's just kind of having these unique moments that are shareable, right? I call it third-party validation. But when you can get a company excited about talking about your company, that's when the magic happens, and that's when everyone starts to lean in.
Heck yeah. No, it sounds great.
Well, you know what's cool about it? The cool thing is Matt brought his friend to the Vibe Room the last time. Johnny and Tiffany, I believe, if they don't have plans on the September 23rd, and I'm going to guilt them anyway. But to have like the Vibe Room is going to be the 23rd of September, and Matt's most likely going to be there. If not, I mean, he's missing out. But it would be,
I'll be there.
It would be cool to have the two of you guys or the three of you guys in the room that way. So what we're going to do, I want Tiffany and Johnny, stick with me. Matt, I want to thank you so much for being, answering the call. I know you got some family to get to and everything like that, but I love you, man. And I'll make sure that there's connection point between these two with you.
Thanks, Kelly. Love you, buddy. Tiffany, Johnny, good luck with everything. And seriously, let's stay in touch. I'm happy to help where I can, and looking forward to seeing you guys grow the business.
Awesome.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you both.
You got it. Stick with me. Stick with me, Tiffany and Johnny. So
right on.
What I love about this is the growth of team. This is the thing that I got the most excited about. I got Tiffany's text. Did you send the text yesterday, or was it early this morning?
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I fell asleep early. I was hanging with my son, and he just got a new bed, so we hung out, and I fell asleep. Like I was out. But the thing that I got the most excited about was the growing of people that you guys are doing. Let's take it, Johnny. This is for you. What's the most exciting thing for you about this expansion and you growing and stuff like that? And then we'll go to Tiffany.
You know, I would say the community, doing things in the community. I've been wanting to do that for such a long time. Prior to starting my construction company, I want to say over 20 years ago, I wanted to start something here, buy into a franchise here in the community, just to be part of the community. And I would say that right there is I'm doing something that I wanted to do from a long time ago. And I want to say I don't regret the construction company, because that helped me, or it's helping us get to where we want to be a lot quicker. You know, we're not only building one store, we're going to be building two at a time. And so plan on doing that a lot. I would say a lot better than it would be to have somebody else build it. So I would say the what the future looks like, how fun to be able to build with Tiffany. I would say that comes first, to build with her. Yeah. Number two is to see the product that we're building, and to serve the community, you know, and then it's going to be just a mutual relationship, you know, for that.
Mm-hmm.
How about yourself,
And
Tiff?
for me, what I'm excited about is not only like the professional growth and the growth that I want to see, and like in the stylists. I am also really excited about like the personal growth. You know, I feel like as I'm diving deeper into salon ownership, I'm learning things about myself and my approach and how I can really help others be as successful as possible.
Mm.
And just kind of seeing, you know, working with different personalities and seeing what makes people tick. And, you know, how can we create a community with Sport Clips? I don't want my stylist to be like, yeah, I work for Sport Clips. I want them to be excited. Like, yes, I work for Sport Clips. They did this for me. I've gone this far. And, you know, I want them to really believe and trust the brand. And that starts with us, really.
Yeah, and I want to say over 10 years ago, I actually went into a Sport Clips when I first found out about them. And when they put the hot towel in my face and they massaged my temples, and you know, that alone right there, I was sold. And I only went to Sport Clips since. And so to build this with Tiffany as well, something I believe in, is it's just amazing.
Well, I want to encourage the both of you. Have you guys got a chance? I know you guys are super busy, but Tiffany, I'm going to encourage you. It's on my. I sent you over the link for this podcast too, and then I'll send you guys this so you guys have it. But so it's literally because it's live right now on all the channels, right? But the book that I gave you, have you got a chance to crack it open?
We, like you said, we are really busy, but it
Yes.
is on my table, front and center.
Okay.
Front and center.
Do me a favor, because as you go into salon ownership, this is probably one of the most important books that you'll read. And it's not because I wrote it. It's just because the way that we built what we did, I didn't write it from theory. I wrote it from a side that was, I wrote it backwards, meaning that we experienced it and then people started asking me about it. And then I just wrote down what we had already done as opposed to having a theory and then writing it and hoping it would work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so it tracks. And I tell you, the original book was called The 6 Indicators for Business and Life, but that's not a great title for a book. The vibe is so much better. But what it did is it focused. I went through it there when I was with you guys. It focused on the culture first, then it goes into system, then it goes into efficiency, then it goes into innovation and the ability to adapt immediately, all wrapped in the way that people feel about all those things. And I tell you, like, I promise you, as you guys grow and as you guys scale, because what we did very early on is I made a ton of mistakes, a ton, especially as we grew. When you guys, because you guys are just about to, even though you're going from 2 to 4, you guys are just about to double your company. And when you double your company, when you deal with 2 and then you deal with 4, it's a whole different scenario. You guys have support, which is amazing. But you know, when Matt was talking about, you know, give your people a voice, what I would suggest before you do is make sure that you know the type of voice that the brand has, and it's very specific, before you let the people just go wild with the voice. Does this make sense?
Yes.
And
absolutely.
this was a big one for me because, you know, wrangling it back in as opposed to starting off with hey, here's the parameters. These are the things that we want to promote. These are the things that we want to talk about inside the community or, you know, with our business. Then what happens is then the people have freedom inside those things, and then it goes nuts. But I've also done the flip side. I don't know if I told you guys when I was at in Northern California. I don't know if I told you the story about it was our Christmas party. Did I tell you guys about this?
No, you didn't.
So
What happened?
Well, before we put a time frame on the speaking life, you know, when I spoke life to someone, and you remember the thing that we did where it was, I gave you 15 seconds and, you know, said,
Oh, yeah.
you got 15 seconds to go, whatever it was. I didn't used to put a time on it. And at our Christmas party, I learned the lesson because the first person went and they went for like 15 seconds. Second person went 30 seconds. Third person went 45 seconds. By the time we were about halfway in, people were taking 5 and 10 minutes. But we had, but get this, Johnny and Tiffany, we had 85 people in the company. And with 85 people in a company, you can imagine if everyone's taking 10 minutes, you can imagine how long this lasts.
Yeah.
And then it went on even further where some people were taking 15 minutes. And it took to get through, because I didn't set the parameters early on, it took us over 6 hours to go through the speaking life part and the celebrations. And by that time, everyone was so tired that they hated the celebrations. So something that was meant for greatness was turned into something that everyone hated because I didn't put a time frame and parameters on it. And that's where, like, when you read the book, as far as the culture part of it, it's a big one. So I'm just, I'm excited. Where are you guys staying in Lompoc, by the way? Are you guys,
well,
are you guys
live-
are you guys in Lompoc right now, or you saw the missile from where you're at?
We saw the missile from where we're at. Every time they launch a missile, we could see it and we can hear it. The windows rattle and everything.
Ground shakes.
I'm about 20 minutes from Lompoc, and then Johnny's about 30 minutes.
Dover Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 35 minutes.
That's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, we're both in Santa Maria right now, though.
Where are you guys at in Santa Maria? What are you guys doing?
We're at Presker Park right now. We have the dogs out. We thought we'd come to the park early this morning, kind of let them frolic, and it worked. It almost feels like we have the whole park to ourselves.
Yeah, it was really good. Beautiful out here.
The sun's out, grass is green, flowers are blooming, dogs are happy. You
Yeah.
couldn't ask for anything more.
No,
When we talked, Tiffany, like Tiffany and Johnny, both of you guys, when we talked at the leadership, I saw a switch go in you when we started talking about the impact that Sport Clips has. And as I was telling you, like, I mean, if you tap into it, and it was almost like like I saw a switch or like a little light turn on. What was that light that turned on? Hey, hold on for 1 second. You guys got to hold on for 1 second, guys. I got something special for you. Cool? Is that cool?
Okay.
You
Yeah,
guys
that's
good?
fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Mr. Wayne,
Hey, what's happening?
hold on for 1 second, okay?
Of course.
Wayne, are you there?
Yeah.
I want you to meet Tiffany and Johnny. So Tiffany and Johnny, this is Wayne. Wayne, you're live on the podcast right now. You have to meet my friends. I just want to let you know. So
Good
Wayne,
morning,
Nice
Wayne.
to meet you.
good morning.
Hello.
so Wayne Freeman is somebody in your network. So Johnny and Tiffany own 2 Sport Clips, and they're just about to expand to go to 4.
Congrats.
Mr. Wayne, that's on the
Thank you.
phone right now, Wayne Freeman, owns over 30 Sport Clips. So
Wow.
when they're going to, what's the number at right now, Wayne?
32.
Okay. So when they're going to expand, they're about to open their second or third and fourth store. What would your advice be to when you go to double the amount of stores that you have in Sport Clips?
Just make sure your support structure is there, because you're moving from man defense to zone. Just I don't know if you have kids or not, but that's kind of the biggest thing. Make sure you've got systems in place. Like we try to build for scale from jump. With now we do Amazon ordering and things like that to empower our managers to make decisions and do things, so that we're not having to do all of those store level things, so that we can focus on like the more strategic needs of the business. So that's the biggest thing.
And Wayne, when you first started off, what was the amount of stores that you started off with?
Well, we bought one, and then about 7 months later, we opened another, and that's been like 23 years now. So it's been a minute. The other thing I would say that we could have done better in the beginning was just anticipate, the cash requirements of a new store opening, because it, depends on the location and all of that. And I don't know if you're buying 2 or opening 2, but certainly, making sure that you're adequately funded to get through those grand opening times.
What about the?
Yes.
What
That's
about
where
the?
my
We didn't
construction
do
company
that.
comes in.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Say that
Johnny.
again.
I'm sorry, we're walking the dogs. That's where my construction company comes in. I've been over 20 years in it, and that's where also other investments that I made to support this. And I think over the years, like I was saying, something new and something with somebody I want to work with is what's driving me on this, and I really enjoy doing that.
Oh, good. What part of the country are you in?
Oh, go ahead, honey.
We're in California on the Central Coast. we're within like Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo County. And both
Okay.
of our stores right now are in San Luis Obispo County. And now we're looking to expand our market into Santa Barbara. And, it's just, we expect to grow from here. We don't necessarily want to stop at 4 stores, but we're taking on the leverage of like 2 stores right now, adding 2 more, and then we'll see how that goes. We're going to keep building. We're interested in seeing how this works with Johnny's construction company, really helping out the build.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's exciting if you can, if you've got your own tenant finish operation. So that will, allow you to kind of save some costs and maybe move money from one pocket to the other and hold it back for those, cash needs. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm very happy for you guys. Wonderful to meet you.
What is your market, if I may ask?
Say it again.
Where's your market at? Where are you located?
So we are in the Midwest. We've got stores in Kansas, Iowa, and Minnesota.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no, it's very nice.
I want you, Wayne, to take us back to the wide-eyed part, because I remember when I had my first location, I had that wide-eyed, and I remember telling Brooklyn this. My wife, Brooklyn, Wayne.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, hey, my goal is to open a salon in every city where there's a Paul Mitchell school. And at the time there was 100. And my wife just looked at me and she was like, you need to work on one. And I was like, but you don't understand, woman. I got one, but there's 99 to go. You know what I'm saying? And I had the wide eye, so I'm like, and I'm so excited, all the stuff. Take us back to that, right? That wide-eyed part for Wayne, but also what I want you to understand, Tiffany and Johnny, Wayne is one of the most respected franchise owners in the entire company. So a lot of the policies that you guys work with inside the corporation and inside those things, they are moved by Mr. Wayne Freeman. He is a very, very, very humble guy, so he's going to deflect this, but he is one of the most influential owners in the whole entire network. And so that's who we have on the phone right now. This is the cool thing. But take me back, Wayne, to the wide-eyed, super excited, and then have the conversation with the wise sage that has gone through and has been through the battles. What would that battle-tested guy tell the wide-eyed guy?
Well, those ups and downs, continue to come and go regardless of the scale that you're at. So yeah, we were wide-eyed wanting to do a 3-store agreement in the beginning, and then we got kind of talked into 6-store agreement. And so we were just young and naive and thought, okay, looking at our pro formas, we could do this. And at the time, honestly, the plan was to kind of just have income from 6 stores. So like, it's really good about that.
I think I lost you there for a second, Wayne. Did you switch over to Bluetooth? Hey, Wayne. Wayne, did you switch over to Bluetooth?
That's right.
There we go. There, you're better now.
I might have. Yeah. Sorry, I was. So you're walking the dog. I'm moving my daughter in apartments. I'm driving a moving truck, and I had to stop and get some keys out of my car. And apparently the Bluetooth picked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry about that. So anyway, so we kind of went the opposite way. We were thinking, our wide-eyed was, oh my gosh, we're going to be doing great off of 6 stores, and then you get in and you're like, okay, well, you're probably not going to just be able to, like, quote unquote, get rich off of 6 stores necessarily. But we figured out the business, and so we started scaling up and kind of figured that out. And so then, we probably maybe got a little too confident at times and bit off chunks of stores. And then you learn other lessons in scalability where you're like, okay, another new learning opportunity. So it's just like, there's just all those things. And it sounds like, you're in business for yourself, so you kind of get a lot of that. But, that learning just never stops, at different levels. And then you get organizations. And so I want to just clarify, when Kelly talks about policies, it's only the ones that you like that I have input on. If there's stuff that's annoying, then it definitely wasn't me. I'm just, but sometimes we do get curveballs thrown at us, by the franchisor. Again, not necessarily intentionally hidden, but just things that they have to do, like remodels and refreshes. And so then there's all of a sudden spend that you didn't necessarily anticipate coming down the pike. And they do their best to talk about those ahead of time. But anyway, so there's always surprises. Certainly, we didn't anticipate things like a pandemic and different hiring preferences and things like that. And so, there's always some curve that's coming at you, but you just got to kind of be ready to adapt and overcome.
Johnny,
Absolutely.
Johnny and Tiffany, what questions do you guys have for Wayne? Because the cool thing is you guys are family. You guys got to understand this, and what you guys, Tiffany, when I said to you, number one, you had the CEO of the whole entire brand in a room with 20 people. That generally doesn't happen, right? And so you have access. But also cool. The other thing is you have access to people inside your network in the Sport Clips family that literally have been through it. So are there any questions that you have for Wayne, whether it be Johnny or Tiffany?
Yeah, I guess I go first. Have you built a store, or did you just take over the stores, all the stores that you got?
We've acquired most of them. I was doing this count the other day for somebody, and I think that of our 32, we've probably only opened from scratch maybe 7 or 8 of those, and acquired the rest.
What was the most challenging in opening those stores? Because really, that's what fascinates me is to build them. I want to build them. What were your challenges for that?
It's just thinking, what's going to be a can't miss location, and there's one that you look at on paper and you're maybe it's in your community and you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. And then you're like, oh, it's not what we thought it would be. And then there's others that'll sneak up on you and be like, wow, how does this store do the volume that it does? So that's been the biggest challenge. And I mean, I have challenges that you won't, which are more like the project planning of it, timing, and we've got an amazing general contractor who's been with us for, the entire time, honestly. And so he helps with some of that, but, there's always, if it's a new construction or something like that with the landlord, then there's timing misses, there's the permits, that sneak up from the municipality or whatever it might be. So those are the biggest challenges, I think, is just bringing everything into a soft landing, because, I get most excited about the build out myself, the physical construction, but then you got to make sure you're keeping the plates spinning around your recruitment cycle and your grand opening timing and getting, and Sport Clips will help with that a lot in terms of getting those ads placed and things like that. But you just got to make sure, if you're like me, you just get so excited about the build out itself that you're like, oh, I kind of forgot they need uniforms or whatever, it could be all of that. But again, I know that they're very thorough with their grand opening checklists and things. So.
Oh, that's great. No, thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, do you guys have, now go ahead, Tiff, you had a question.
One thing that was mentioned to me previously for the grand opening is for me, I'm more interested in the peopling part and how are we going to organize this. Johnny is more into the building construction part of it. But as far as when you first opened those stores, did you do over hiring or did you hire just enough? And those grand openings, what did they look like? I'm just curious, really.
Yeah, so over hiring is the goal, and but just temper that with the reality of the hiring marketplace right now. That's very difficult to do. So they might tell you hire 10 to 12, and you would certainly like to be able to do that, but sometimes you might have to push a little bit and say, I'm going to open this with 6 because I can't find 10 or 12. So that's been it. And I mean, the grand openings have looked different. Like I said, we had our first store that we opened, I think still holds a record for the number of clients in the first week. And we certainly didn't anticipate that. And we're underprepared for it, to be quite honest. And so, of course, then the next time you're like, oh, this is how it's going to go. And so you prepare for that, and then it's a slower roll, So I think it's important to just understand that everyone is going to be a little bit different. You want to do all of the same steps, but just depending on the trade area and stuff, like the activities might need to be a little bit different. But some, we always get really excited and want for that, like, crazy busy store opening, and they're really hard to achieve is my experience. So you just got to be a little bit patient with that and keep chopping the wood on the little tactics. Even after the doors fly open, you got to keep grinding on the marketing to make sure that people really know you're there. Because I mean, especially with all of the distraction of online and phones and stuff that didn't exist back in the day, like, you're focused on that grand opening and you're super excited about it, but you'll be surprised by the number of people that have no idea that you're there and that you're open. And so you really have to just keep flooding the market.
And so
you hit the nail right on the head with that one. Yeah, because the second location that we were looking at in North County, we've gone back twice already to all the locations, and we're just really kind of just watching the traffic and seeing like what's promising in the area, what is visible. We have to look at it from a customer perspective, not an owner perspective, to see, hey, are we visible? Is this easy accessible? The parking,
Bingo. Parking and accessibility, I think, also, honestly, might be ahead of visibility in my experience.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Can I give a little? Can I talk or just chime in a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
this turned into our podcast.
Well, here on the grand opening, I want to go to that because this was a big one. Steve and Terry Cowan told me one time they went and stayed at a hotel. And it was so amazing. Everything was so incredible. But they asked a question that changed my whole perspective. And when she called down, she asked for like a hot towel or towels or whatever it was, and they delivered it, and they were so excited and all the things. And then she asked the question again that just blew everything up for me. She said, "Is this grand opening service or what I can expect as I move forward in the future as a client?" And so I would take that into consideration when you are doing a grand opening. The reason why is because everybody is so excited and they give the grand opening service, but then the second time the person comes in, they don't get the same thing. So be conscious of this when you go through, and be conscious of it when you're building culture. Wayne and I are actually going to be working together. We just haven't, am I correct on this, Wayne? We just haven't worked out the exact time frame. That's the thing. But
I think we already work together.
We
just
do.
informally.
We do. Yes. So when we talk about culture, this is a massive, massive thing. The other thing is what I would suggest is infiltrate the elementary schools. And when I say this, when you do it, this is opposite from. It is going to be a little almost like Trojan horse, but every elementary school has a carnival, especially at the beginning of the year, to be able to bring all the people together. What we used to do is we would take, and what I would suggest is take and volunteer at the surrounding, and I know all in Lompoc, I know all the schools, right? And I just happen to know a lot of teachers in the places. So the teachers are what you want, okay? So if you get the teachers the ear, they become the evangelist, and when you have an evangelist, marketing becomes very simple. Yeah, because if we look at probably the greatest marketer of all time, he had 12 people who turned into millions. Where most people will focus on the millions and try and get the 12, he focused on the 12 and got the millions. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does.
So the evangelists in that town in Lompoc are at Buena Vista, they're at La Honda, they're at Vanderburg Middle School, and they're at Lompoc Middle School. And there's a couple others that as we go along, and the reason why I was saying as far as contributing to you, because all we do is target the elementary schools. And then we take, and all of them have a back to school carnival or something like that. And what I would suggest is, because you're going to hire the majority, you're going to hire women. And I love this about Sport Clips, because most of the employees, am I correct on this, Wayne? Like the percentage is high in the female side.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is I would find somebody, and Tiffany, you're probably already proficient in this because I saw your hair and your hair is so beautiful.
Thank you.
So what I would do is I would take and I would train your staff in braiding. And I would do a box braid. So I would do a box braid. That's the individuals. I would do an upside down French braid that Kourtney Kardashian made very popular. And then I would get, colored hairspray. And what I would do is I would take and volunteer to be a sponsor of the carnivals at all the schools. And I'd put your people there not to cut hair, but to braid and do a braid bar. And that braid bar has absolutely nothing to do with your business, although it will attract every mom and every child. They'll stand in line to be able to get the braids because there's no change in their hair or anything like that. And we did this consistently. And what happened was all the kids and their moms stood in line for our places and these braid bars because there was no commitment to it, but every girl wants to have braids and every boy wants to get their hair spray painted a different color. And what happened is now the kids thought it was cool. There was a couple of different impacts. One, the teachers were so excited because there was a service that we were providing and everyone was happy with it, right? The second one, all the kids wanted to be a part of it. They thought that, wow, the thing was cool. So Sport Clips now becomes cool to the kids. But here's the long tail side of it, is that kid in 5th grade is now going to think, wow, the coolest person in Lompoc is the woman who works at Sport Clips. Now, when they graduate from high school, that is going to be a viable option for them to become your employee. And if you start there, now by the time the kid went through school and has seen Sport Clips be involved in there, I wouldn't do it in high schools because it doesn't work as well in high schools, but in grade school and in middle school, grade school especially. By the time they go through grade school, through middle school, and then on to high school, and then they maybe go to Santa Maria Beauty College or they go to a beauty college that's around, now you're a viable option, and you have a story of a kid who says, and we had these. We have a girl, her name is Tatiana. Tatiana Kennedy. I want you to find her. She's in Vegas. She came to our salon when she was 7 years old with her grandma. From 7 years old, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, she graduated from high school, and because she had always been in the salon, she then thought it was so cool that she became a stylist, and now she's one of the top stylists, earning probably almost $100,000 a year in Las Vegas and one of the top hairdressers in that place, but it's because of her story. And so if you look at that, there's a couple of evangelists that you need, and you don't need many. But if you look at and target all those elementary schools where most people they won't serve the elementary schools. And I would serve them with braid bars. Those braid bars are like, I tell you, and we did this not only with the elementary schools, but we ended up doing it at concerts too. And when we did it at concerts, what happened is everybody wanted to get their hair braided. Now, every woman generally is connected with some sort of boy, whether it be their brother or their dad or their, grandpa or whatever it is. And so once you have the attention of them, now they're going to become your evangelist, and your marketing dollars start to shrink. So you don't have to spend as much on the marketing part. That's my TED Talk.
We're right here, Kelly. We're listening. We're just walking on the main road, and we didn't want to distract you with the noise. We're definitely listening. Yeah. I'm hearing what you're saying, and I think it's absolutely brilliant and genius. The school carnival and making that impact on someone from the get-go, that first impression really keeps them, and it makes them want to get more involved with the brand, with you as a person. And really, especially when it comes down to kids and parents, it's very influential. Mm-hmm. And I do think that ultimately, like, some of our employees right now, they have children that are attending beauty school, and they may be interested and, either starting their career with us or, just being a part of the Sport Clips like life when they come in and they want to help or whatnot. For example, my sister, she's going to be graduating high school. And because I've brought her into the shop and showed her like, oh, this is what the business is about. This is what we do, what we want to do for our community. She's actually inspired to want to go to beauty school now and want to work in the shop and want to see what her horizons are in the beauty industry. And whether it's her or anyone else or an employee's child, we want to be influential. We want to be a positive brand for them.
Absolutely. Wayne, what's your take on that? I know you got to go because you are moving your daughter right now. Did you say you're moving your daughter, Wayne?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I know
excuse the rattly cart.
You're fine, but I know you got to go. But what's your take on that? Because obviously, like when I'm saying that, I get excited about it because I just think of I love the grand opening part, and I also love the fact that you can create hype around it that can last for a long time if you target the right people, right? If you
That's
target the right people. What's your take on it?
No, I think that's spot on. It's a mix of those things, and like we've just built out local store marketing plans for a handful of stores where we're ready for some another injection of marketing, and we always have the elementary schools, middle schools, high schools on there, and we've definitely done the carnivals in the past. Like our tactic wasn't braids necessarily, but we would just go do like crazy hairstyles. So maybe you just take some product from your store, you do spiky, goofy hairstyles, and we would bring some paints, which we don't even do in the stores, but it's fun for the kids. It's to do at the carnival, and you just kind of get that into the community, and they see you out there, and like you say, then all of a sudden you're fun and you're cool, and it's amazing to me. Like our kids have lived Sport Clips. Literally, well, two of them were born into it, and one of them was here with. But anyway, it's been fun to see their progression because they and their classmates and stuff, they pick a favorite stylist, and then that stylist becomes known throughout the school. Go to this person, don't go to this person, whatever. They have their favorites, and to Kelly's point, that's powerful. They're advocates, they're evangelists for your business, and you're not even having to do that work.
Yeah. And what I would encourage you guys is get the teachers. Like get the teachers, because the teacher has 27 kids in their class all day, right? And so if you can market to one to get 27, that's a great marketing tool, right? And so also too, I know that I can't remember her name. What was the young? It was Sylvia. Sylvia was talking about when we were up there in the Northern California for the team leader meeting. Sylvia was talking about layered haircutting, and I asked Edward. I was in the back, and I asked him. I said, hey, is there? How often are you doing women's hair? And he said it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. And, she was talking about the efficiencies. But the thing that I didn't say is I asked Edward in the back of the room, I said, Edward, can I work with Sylvia real quick? As far as like maybe one of the next huddles or one of the next times, because what I want to show her is a 6-section way to be able to lay her hair, and she would be able to stay in the 15-minute mark, right? And what I'm going to commit to you guys, Tiffany, and to Johnny, is I want to help in that, and I can help. And if we do that, and I can show you just a couple of techniques on that, and to be able to accomplish it in a very short amount of time, what you can do. Hey guys, hold on for 1 second. I got a surprise for all of you. Hold on. Edward. Are you there?
How's it going?
Hey, hold on for 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Edward, are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, all of you, Tiffany's on the line, Johnny's on the line, and Wayne's on the line. You are talking with the CEO of Sport Clips right now. He's on the line. Edward, you're live on the podcast. I just wanted to tell you.
All right.
Good morning,
Okay.
Edward.
Good morning.
How are y'all?
Wow, that's awesome. What a treat.
Kelly's bombing us today, Edward. We're getting surprised by the podcast.
All right. Well, hey, Kelly reaches out and I call. It's that easy.
That's right.
Sweet. Sweet. Very nice.
Edward,
You're the best, Edward.
hey,
I'm taking this beachside at the moment.
he's in. And the view is beautiful. And those steaks, Edward, the steaks that you sent me were, I mean, it just made. So here we go, because I know your time's valuable, especially with Cayman and with Ken's and with Dolly. So do me the favor. Johnny and Tiffany are about to open their second or third and fourth store. They're about to double their size because they have 2 right now. What would be your maybe top 3 things that you would say in as they grow?
Oh man, it's all about the culture, right? And recruiting and retention. The third and fourth are cool because you can start to kind of build the bench and give more people growth and management opportunities. So that's always an exciting part, I think, of going from 1 to 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's all about culture, right? You can't fake it. The other thing is, just keep following the system, right? You're already on it. It's easy to start to outsmart yourself, right? As you learn more, it's like kind of a spot where you know enough where you might start to change stuff. So stick with the system. And, maybe third, learn from guys like Wayne in terms of how to structure your time, right? Your time management becomes more important the more units you have. And so you'll probably feel a shift in terms of how you have to block and plan your time with 4 versus, 2. So.
When we were talking to Edward, you were talking about the infrastructure. When you start to expand, the infrastructure becomes so important. Where the excitement was important when you have maybe 1 or 2, the structure and infrastructure becomes so important. Was that? Am I correct? Did I say it correctly?
Yeah, absolutely, right? Like some things become easier, like being able to promote from within, and that's great for the team too. And some things become harder if you don't have the systems for it, like making sure you stick to the basics and do the same thing. Make sure every manager is getting that attention, and you start to have a structured schedule. It's in our team leader Grand Slam's best practices, but everybody's got to kind of make it their own and make it work for them, and what days and times, work best for everybody. So you have to kind of have like your own systems a little bit above our systems once you start getting to that level.
Be careful, darling. Be careful.
Edward, what about when you're going to do a grand opening? Like, what would you say as far as probably the most important thing when you're going to do a grand opening in a new town where you don't have the market share?
Do everything in excess, right? Do 5 times as much marketing as necessary, hire twice as many people as you think is necessary, schedule twice as many hours as you think is necessary, because it's not as excessive as it feels like. A grand opening is kind of a different animal than a mature store. So just do everything in excess and you'll get the best results.
Last question for you, so you go back to the beautiful beach. Okay, I didn't realize that there's a thing called Resi on my American Express Platinum that gives me back, I think it's $400 or $600 a year on the reservations that I make for dinner. So I can eat $600 worth of food because I have a Amex. The other thing that I didn't realize was that the Centurion lounges, I could go and I could eat as opposed to having to eat airport food. I didn't know this benefit until someone told me. What are some of those benefits of Sport Clips that most people either don't know or don't take advantage of when they're expanding the brand?
That's a great question. I would say that thing I called the Team Leader Grand Slam best practices, the 5 categories of things that are the most important things that more successful team leaders do more and better than less successful or smaller team leaders. That's a document that's not used half enough. And so that's kind of a hidden gem. The second thing I would just say is the network, right? There's so many people who've done it before that are good at it, other team leaders who are happy to help. You don't have to learn everything for the first time. So there are kind of some shortcuts in the relationships and the network and other successful team leaders if you take advantage of it.
I want you to get back now. I want you to understand Edward, you're live right now on.
Hey, I've only gotten to listen to myself so far. I'm going to stay on for a minute and listen to y'all.
That sounds good. Wayne, in your tenure, right? How many team leaders that are new that have come on have actually called you and said, "I've got 2 stores, 4 stores, 6 stores. You've got 32. could I bend your ear with a couple questions? How many times did that happen a week?
In a week? Yeah, it's not a week. I would say over my tenure, it's 20 or fewer. It gets back to Edward's point, which is not enough, right? We're not tapping into that knowledge base that already exists. And so I definitely encourage you on that.
Tiffany and Johnny, you have this opportunity right now. What questions do you have for Edward? As you guys continue to expand, and I'm so excited for you guys with the Central Coast because, Edward, I think we're going to have to spend some time on the Central Coast too. I just want to let you know, buddy. It's
darn, we're right by the beach.
It's close to my heart. Lompoc is close to my heart. Tiffany, Johnny, you have the floor. Any questions for Edward?
Well, first off, excuse our dogs. We have the dogs on a walk right now. But do you have any questions for Edward, honey?
Not really a question, but a comment. Hey, you have the best franchise from what I see. Really happy to join your team, and that, happy that you guys accepted us to actually join the team. And your dad, great people to work for. Besides the huge franchise. So really, really happy to be part of it. And your support is just amazing. You're always there for us. And thank you for that.
I feel like I am very excited to grow within the company, the both of us. I think that this is something that we definitely want long-term and see where it takes us. We want to, be more involved with you guys, work closely with you guys, and then also be able to grow these stores at a higher rate.
No, I just said, absolutely. It's we appreciate y'all being on board. As soon as we met y'all and got to know about your business experience in construction, it's a different workforce, but the leadership skills are completely the same. You have to tailor them a little bit, completely the same. So we knew you'd be great, and you're doing great, and I think you're going to continue to do great, and happy to support any way I can. And it was great to see all that leadership last week too.
Same here.
Thank you. Yes, same here.
Well, I want to tell you, Tiffany and Johnny, and I'll tell this, Wayne, I think you've heard this story before, but I remember reaching out, Wayne, you met the guy, Eric Chin, who was the founder of Tiny Prints, right? So we went to high school together. He was at the last Vibe Room. And so I reached out to him. I sent the same identical text to him and to Luke Jacobellis, who was at the time the president of Paul Mitchell. And it just said, I've got to this point in my business, and I have limited knowledge, and I need help. And you obviously have created an amazing business, and I would love to be able to spend some time with you and get some mentorship because I don't know how to grow past where I am right now. I sent that text message to two people. One, Eric Chin. Number two was Luke Jacobellis. Luke Jacobellis hit me back within about 7 to 8 minutes. And he said, absolutely, send me your numbers and we'll go over your numbers every quarter. And then I did the unthinkable. I actually asked him, why did you actually answer my call? And he responded back because, this is the president of Paul Mitchell, someone who took Paul Mitchell from, 2 million to over $1 billion, right? And I asked, why'd you take my call or why'd you respond? And he said, because no one ever asks. And it blew me away. And then we went on, and within 1 year, he took our company. Our profit margin at the time was about teetering about 11 to 12. As far as our profit margin, 11 to 12. He took us to 28% within 3/4 of a year, just from asking questions. And so, what I want you guys to understand, whether it be Johnny and Tiffany or Wayne, or Edward. Like, he has friends that inspire him. Make sure that you're asking the questions. And so my question to you, Edward, is what makes up the people who excel? What separates the difference or what separates the person who is a team leader who excels and just, goes to the stratosphere, and we have those within Sport Clips, and the person who maybe doesn't have that? Is it DNA? Is it, that they are destined to do that? Or are there a couple of little things that they're willing to do that other people aren't willing to do?
Yeah, I think it's mostly behaviors that are pretty coachable. I mean, if you're just not cut out for, if you just don't enjoy working with stylists, there's not much you can do about that. But outside of kind of that fundamental element, mostly behaviors. I'll refer back with a reference to Paul Mitchell. I'll refer back to a conversation I had with JP, Jean-Paul DeJoria. I was probably, I don't know, 14 or 15 years old, and we had a small group lunch with JP, or dinner, I think it was. And so I had the ability to sit next to him for the whole dinner, and so I was just picking his brain. But the main question I remember asking him was, "Hey JP, I want to be successful too, just like you, and really impressed with what you've done. What would be your advice, for being successful?" And he said, "It's very simple. Most successful people are just willing to do what less successful people are not willing to do. That's really it." And so I think mostly it's behaviors, and mostly we've decoded it. So you got to enjoy working with stylists and barbers. And really most of the best practices are in the 5-point play and the processes at store level, and the team leader Grand Slam best practices above the store level. We were at that leadership in the Bay Area, East Bay, last week, and I think I mentioned it. I started working, I went from focusing mostly on the company stores to starting to directly support franchise territories in 2013. August of 2013 in the Bay Area was the first territory I worked with. And the basis of those team leader top 5 best practices, now Grand Slam best practices, was in taking what were we doing differently in the company stores, and how can we make that a simple checklist that if you do these things, you're most likely to be successful. And I also borrowed a lot from successful team leaders in figuring out what those things were. So a lot of it's right there, and you're just not going to find yourself, if you like working with stylists and you're engaged and giving the time to it, and you're following those top 5 best practices, you're just not going to find, there'll be struggles and there'll be ups and downs, but you're not going to find yourself completely missing.
And it's interesting, Edward, as you say it, because every time that, say that I've been at the huddle and I've been around a kid who, is getting celebrated, there's no mystery. It really wasn't a mystery. It was the kid who was implementing the things that were available. And this was mind-blowing to me because I came from Lompoc, so I thought, growing up in Lompoc, you had to almost be crowned to be able to go and get these opportunities. Although what I saw was like your experience with JP or my experience with Luke or these kids' experiences, most of the time it's just the kid that's willing to ask the questions or just show up and not only seek the advice, but actually apply it,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things I love about the way we do franchising is you see a lot of franchises that are successful, but they're selling 10, 50, 100 unit licensing deals to these big PE companies, and there's no relationship. It's just a spreadsheet to the franchisor and just a spreadsheet to the franchisee. And it's why I love working with Johnny and Tiffany and Wayne and a bunch of other team leaders. We really encourage, starting with 3, and just organically people get up to 32 like Wayne, or 50 or 60 like a few others. But it happens organically, and it's folks who are engaged and they're people, and they're going to take care of their teams, and then the success just organically happens, and the store growth just organically happens. So that's a model I really enjoy, and it's people building their lives, not just a big PE company trying to make a few bucks. So that's something I really enjoy about Sport Clips and folks like Johnny and Tiffany and Wayne.
Wow. Wayne, we told you we were going to get you back to moving. Edward, Wayne is moving his daughter right now. So he's been clunking around with he's doing, where are you at in the world right now, Wayne? Where are you moving her to?
We're just moving between apartments, and specifically I am in my storage locker getting her stuff and loading it into a box truck. So
okay, Wayne, what is your take? Do you really think
you know
that
what?
your Chiefs...
These are the multitasking things that you'll get really good at. Like I probably couldn't have done this 20 years ago, like be on a podcast while actively moving an apartment.
And on
anyway,
top of that,
question, Kelly?
And on top of that, running 32 stores. So running 32 stores, moving, being on a podcast, all simultaneously. Do you really think that your Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl this year?
Well, I did read that Patrick Mahomes is cleared for 100% participation in training camp. So if he's healthy, I like our chances.
Mm.
We'll
Edward,
see what married Travis Kelsey at the age of 35 looks like on the field. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to rule him out. Let me say that.
Edward, am I allowed to? You said a quote to me. I sent it over to you, and I think that this would be a one-page book that you would write, and it was about timepieces. Can I say it?
Yeah, sure.
So I asked Edward, Johnny, and Tiffany. I want you guys to understand that this was massive. I asked Edward. I was like, "Do you like timepieces?" And the conversation shifted, and Edward was talking about the fact that, he wanted to. He always asked himself, "What type of message am I trying to send?" And this was monumental because I don't think that most businesses, when they first start off, that they ask themselves that question: what message to the community am I trying to send? Do you think that that's just towards timepieces, or do you think it transcends, Edward?
That's a good question. I think it's kind of a philosophy more than you just happen to ask about watches. I think it's more of a general philosophy. I think I like doing, I think related to sport clips, we like doing, one of the benefits of being a private company that is going to stay that way and family run is we just try to do things the way we believe is right and don't worry about, valuations or trying to impress the market public or PE markets or any of that. We just try to do what's right for the long term and don't worry about trying to send messages or, look a certain way outside of sport clips. We just try to do what's right. And I think it just makes everything a lot simpler, and whether it's business or life in general or watches.
It honestly, that one stuck with me.
Which I don't wear one. So.
I love it. Hey, Tiffany and Johnny, before Edward gets off the line, because he's got to get to his 3. He's running zone defense with his daughters, by the way, and so.
Right.
Him and Christy are running zone defense. Me and my wife, we stayed man to man. But before he gets off, is there any questions, any things that you guys have for Edward before he goes?
No, just expect for us, at least within the next couple of months, we're going to be securing 2 locations within probably about the next, month, you think?
Yeah. Well, it's in the works now. So his team is really good. Just tell him what you need and what you want, where you want it, and everybody's working like really fast. We get multiple phone calls every day, and his team is really good. So yeah, congrats on that.
We'll be talking more, and yeah, we've gone to both locations. We've already have our mind set on both locations, and now it's just the paperwork that's going into place. So you'll be hearing from us more.
Yes, LOIs. Yeah, LOIs have been submitted, and yes, you'll be hearing from us for sure. Thank you very much,
Edward.
Very good. It's an exciting time for y'all.
Edward, do you guys and I don't know this structure. Do you guys help in the negotiations of the leases? Or is that on the team leader themselves?
We don't manage them, but we'll coach and give some best practices and things like that. And we also work with a third party who's also really good if you really want someone to get in there and help you redline it. And we recommend that, especially your first few stores. Yeah. So we'll help a little, but we also recommend the third party be more hands-on and direct as well.
Tell me if I'm wrong on this too, Edward, is because I learned something while I was negotiating leases. And I wish I would have learned it on my first location, but I learned it when we did the Hard Rock Casino. Is I put a clause in that our rent abatement started the day that the construction was done. And because I put that clause in, what was so great is we had the first 3 months rent-free, which got us a long tail as far as the amount of revenue that we were able to generate without having the burden of the rent. Because most of the time people negotiate rent abatement, but they don't put that clause in. And so what they do is they eat up the rent abatement in the actual construction. And so for us, it motivated us too with our contractor, and this is the first time that ever happened, I mean, Johnny, you have advantages in this, but we actually came in 3 weeks before the date we were supposed to do it, before we were supposed to be done. And so we not only had the 3 months of renovatement, but we also had 3 more weeks because because we had set a date. But I would really, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, Edward, but it just helped us so much because I never negotiated that before. I would always say renovatement, and they would say, yeah, we'll give you 3 or 4 months. But again, that was eaten up by construction. So by the time I opened, I didn't have any renovatement. I just didn't have to pay for it while I was doing it. And so that was a thing that retroactively for me, if I was to go back, I would put that into every single contract.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yes. It's in ours, that's for sure.
That's awesome. So, Edward, get back to the beach. Tell these guys you love them. Tell Wayne you love him. Are you there, Edward?
Hey, appreciate y'all. Thanks for reaching out, Kelly. Glad I saw it in time and could hop on, and appreciate y'all. And congratulations on your new stores, and congratulations, Wayne, on the multitasking move there.
Thanks. Always good to hear your voice. Hope you have a great day.
Yes,
all right, y'all too.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
Wayne,
y'all.
Edward, you're the best. I'll talk to you soon. I'll give you a call later today.
All right.
Okay. All right, cool.
All right. And then Johnny, stick with me for a bit, and Wayne, get to move in. But thank you so much. Anything you got to say to these guys before you take off? Is Wayne there? Maybe Wayne left us too.
Maybe.
Awesome.
Maybe. We'll see.
Johnny and Tiffany, your future's bright. And what I want you guys to understand, like, I mean, maybe you'll be able to sit with it as you go, but how do you feel right now?
Feel great.
Feel good, inspired, determined.
Absolutely. Yep.
Well, you guys are on the right path. I'm excited for you. We're going to be up in Lompoc next week. Yeah, we're going up. My brother's getting inducted into the Cabrillo, not Lompoc High School, Cabrillo Hall of Fame.
Wow.
But also too, I just want to let you know, I have a lot of friends in the teacher and administrator network there in Lompoc. So that would be a really good target and a connection point for you guys as you go.
Okay. Yes. when we start building and we're almost done, we're definitely going to want to get out into the communities and doing events just to make sure that there's brand awareness out there, at least because they haven't had one. They don't have, I believe they don't have another franchise as far as haircutting out there, just from where we were looking. And so just the brand awareness, they need to know that we're there. It's a great area. We have, there's a prison there, the Air Force Base, a lot of career opportunities there that they are required to upkeep with their presentation. So I really do think that Lompoc's going to be a successful move, and I'm excited to see what it brings.
Yes. Well, I'm so happy for you guys. I woke up this morning to your text, and I just want you to know, I'm here. I want to contribute in any way possible. But I want you guys to know how much I'm in your corner. I'm cheering for you, and you guys are amazing.
We appreciate
Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you, Kelly.
Well, hopefully your day is incredible. Thanks for being on the show today, too. And I appreciate you. Get back to your dog walk, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. You have an amazing weekend.
Okay. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
This is the cool thing with You Have to Meet My Friends, because I tell you, those are some moments that you never get. We just had the CEO of Sport Clips. 1,800 locations, 18,000 employees in America and Canada, one of the top franchises in the professional beauty industry. The CEO, the man who runs it, was on talking to a new team leader that owns 2 locations, about to go to 4. And then you had a team leader that has 32 locations, one of the most prominent in the whole entire network, and getting them all together to be able to have a conversation. Those are the kind of things that happen on You Have to Meet My Friends. Plus, earlier we had the former artistic director of Paul Mitchell and one of the most iconic hairdressers in the entire world, and one of the greatest educators that's moving on to do a completely other side of her career in Stephanie Kachelski. So I hope you've been entertained. I hope this has been amazing for you. Make sure you share it with your friends. And if you're listening right now and you want to go back and you want to hear this full conversation, you can on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. And make sure that you like it, that you subscribe to it, send a comment, and share it with your friends. That's what we do. But I want to thank you so much. We have 4 different shows on the podcast. This is The Vibe. We're running live on different networks, but also it's going to be on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon, and Pandora, and everywhere else that you can get your podcast. But where we need your support is just go and like it, subscribe to it, and hang out with us. I do this episode, which is this show, which is called You Have to Meet My Friends. I go live and I call my friends randomly. I have commentary that'll lift up your soul. I have interviews where I take my heroes and make them human, and they give advice to my kids by name. And then I have a show called A History Box, where I have one of the top personalities in history. He's on the History Channel. He was on Pawn Stars, and he brings in an ammunition box from World War II, and we talk about the artifacts in the box. So it's absolutely amazing. The Vibe, that's what it is. And make sure you subscribe to it. If you want to experience this in person, the Vibe Room, September 23rd. There's only 75 seats and they're already selling out. And I tell you, you want to be in that room. Oh yeah, we had Matt Williams, the social selling dude, one of the top marketers on LinkedIn on the show too. And he was absolutely amazing. So I hope you have a phenomenal day. I'm going to get to my kids and hang out with my wife. So have an incredible day. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Julie Vargas. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Let me do this. I am doing amazing. I couldn't hear you. I had to switch you the speakers. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. You know what? You're live on the podcast right now.
Well, hello.
You are one of the very first people to call in to me, because I'm generally calling out. But I want to tell you this, Jolie. Check this out. Today on the show, we just had Stephanie Kachelski. You know her.
Yes.
Okay. We had Stephanie Kachelski. We had, Tiffany and Johnny, who own the Sport Clips. They're team leaders in the Central Coast. They have 2 locations in San Luis. I think they have San Luis Obispo and Pismo Beach, I believe, and they're just about to expand. I then called Wayne Freeman, and they got to talk. You know Wayne.
Yes.
And then guess who? Guess who called in?
Edward.
And Edward got to talk to Tiffany, Johnny, and Wayne, and we all had that on the podcast, and it was live, just like you are live right now. So I want to tell.
That is so awesome.
I want to tell people though, and Julie would never say this. Julie is employee number 1 of the most incredible franchise in the professional beauty industry in Sport Clips. This is employee number 1, Julie Vargas. So just wanted to preface that. So Julie, what are you doing today?
You know, today I am touching base with loved ones. I have a few minutes, and I have just been calling my mom, my dad, my niece, my daughters, just touching base with people today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been great, just catching up.
What do you when you catch up with them? Is there are you asking them questions? Are you speaking life to them? What are you doing when you do it?
Yeah. No, that's a great question. Everybody's in different stages, and certainly with my parents, we're definitely in a stage of life that's very different. So, I'm very proud of my dad, because mom and dad are now both in a care center, and that's all new to us, a new phase of life for all of us. And so dad's been working really, really hard and going through physical therapy. So I'm just telling him how proud I am of him, and how hard he's been working, and he's just been putting the work in and doing great things. And I'm really proud of him. The tables kind of flip after a while. That would normally be him calling me, telling me that, and I'm now calling him, telling him how proud I am of him and the work that he's putting in. And so that's kind of how it goes with mom and dad. And then with my kiddos, it's just checking in with them on where they are and how things are going. And just really and truly, they're my best friends. So when I get to talk to them, it's just hearing what their days have been like, how work is going. And, all those great things. One's here in the same, city with me, but I don't see her but ever once or twice a week. And then the other one is in California, so I don't see her much at all. So our phone calls are really important when I get to talk to her.
I want to speak some life to you because the consistency of the example that you've been in my life, Julie, over the years, and this has been almost 30 years of friendship, and the consistency that you have and the heart that you have, even with the position that you have held. And a lot of times as people grow in position or grow in prominence, things shift and there's not as much accessibility. And I just want you to understand, like, our conversation at the last, what was it? That was a huddle. It was a coach's huddle, I believe it was, in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got to sit
Yes.
and have lunch, and we just talked. And
Yeah.
we talked nothing about sport clips. We talked nothing about any business stuff or anything like that. But I just want you to understand that example to me is like, it's like you giving me $1 million every time you see me. And
Kelly. Well,
seriously.
you are the same to me. I appreciate that as well. There's friends in life that are, friends through work, and then there's friends that you would call on just because you need to, bend their ear and have a conversation. And I feel that you are someone that I could call and talk to, and you too breathe life into so many people, and you know that. And I feel that you are that to me as well. So I value that very much.
I appreciate you. And I do have a new barbecue place that you have to check out in Austin.
Okay, please do tell.
It's called Rollin' Smoke Barbecue, and it's right down in the heart of Austin. I'm going to send you the Instagram. I saw them on Instagram because they liked a post that I did about De La Soul.
Uh-huh.
And I ended up going, and I believe I think Kyle is the owner.
Okay.
And I went, but I didn't understand Texas verbiage because the lady asked me, "Are you hungry? Are you medium hungry? Are you small hungry?" And I said, "Medium hungry."
Uh-huh.
And she brought out, I swear it was a truckload of food. And she was like, I don't want to even know what hungry means in Texas.
Yeah, that is funny. But I can only imagine. I love that. I love that.
I was on my way out to Georgetown the last time when I landed, but I stopped. I rented a car, and don't get me wrong, it was humid, Julie, but I wasn't sweating from the humidity. I was sweating. I had meat sweats on the way out to Georgetown.
I bet you did.
Oh my gosh.
I bet you did.
I'm
funny.
gonna send you the picture of the plate of this thing.
Oh, good. You took a picture.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
you got it. Yes, I got to see it. it.
Can
That
you
is
do?
funny. I can only imagine, though. I can only imagine.
Oh my gosh! Can you do me a favor? I know you're a busy woman. I gotta run too. But can you give some insight to anyone who's either starting in their business, that they're in the middle of their business, or they think that they've got to the place in their business where they don't know what to do? If you had those three people in the room, coming from a woman who believed in something before it was popular to believe in, it would be easy to take a job with Sport Clips today, especially to be in your position. If someone offered that position would be amazing. But when you started, there wasn't 1,800 locations. There wasn't over 18,000 people. There wasn't a network, and you weren't the number one franchise in the professional beauty industry. What would you say to those people who are either starting out in their business, they were kind of in the middle, and they were kind of, maybe losing a little steam, or they were at the point where they were thinking, what else could happen? And I don't know where to go with this.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that the thing is, I would say that be patient, believe in yourself, put yourself out there, because I know sometimes we become, even today, sometimes my biggest challenge is with myself, right? Afraid to maybe speak up or put an idea out there, because you think, oh, how will it be received? But just don't be afraid to take a chance, and continue to work towards what you believe in, and persevere. Perseverance only makes us better. The more we work at something, the more we believe in something, and the more we fight for what we believe in, I think the stronger we become and the better the outcome. Because I honestly believe that anything that's worth having is worth fighting for and working towards. So just continue to believe, continue to persevere, and put yourself out there, and put the little elbow grease in that it's going to take to get there. But you'll get there, and it's all worth it in the end, because you'll be a better person because of it. You'll be stronger because of it. And even though the outcome may not be exactly what you wanted, you'll be in a better place.
Julie, you're amazing. I appreciate you. I love you more than you know. And what you've done, and the cool thing is I've got a chance to be able to see it in your daughter too. And
Aww.
I have so much love for your daughter. Your daughter is so cool, and I give her such a hard time, and I gave her a hard time at Huddle. But it's amazing to see what you've done for the next generation also. And so not only a phenomenal person, phenomenal businesswoman, but an incredible, incredible mom. And your daughter is very lucky to be able to have you.
Oh, I can't wait for you to meet my other one, because they're equally very, very different and amazing women. But I appreciate that, Kelly. That's very kind of you.
Well, you're the best. You're officially off the hot seat, but I love you, and I hopefully I'll see you soon. I don't know. I think Edward and I were talking about. I think that I should see you at the Coaches Huddle.
Yes.
So I think that will be, and then I want to get you out to the Vibe Room at some point too. September 23rd is the next one, but you got to get there. So
I would love it. I would love it. Well, Kelly, as always, I so appreciate these moments, and thank you for calling me, and you keep doing you and keep doing what you're doing, because you're pretty amazing.
You're awesome. Thank you so much. You're the best.
Thanks, Kelly.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's the kind of surprises that happen on the show, and it blows my mind. That was the #1 employee of Sport Clips. That's Julie Vargas, and I tell you, one of the most influential people in the professional beauty industry, and she just happens to be my friend. So you have to meet my friends. I go live and I call my friends randomly, and they don't know they're on the podcast till they're on the podcast. That's it. My name is Kelly Cardenas, and I'm officially off the hot seat. Peace, love, and soul. If you want to see the whole episode, if you just tuned in, you want to see the whole episode, go to Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. You'll be blown away. I mean, this episode was unreal. So have a wonderful day. Peace, love, and soul. I'm out.
Yeah, and this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life roots to the freeway nights, we turn small grooves into launch pad flights. Yeah, this the vibe that raised us, made us, saved us. Love so strong that the hard times praised us. From base life.